Hi all. This reading is for June the 10th through June the 11th. So June the 11th and 10th. For the collective. For any and all signs. And we've got the High Priestess to start us off there on the bottom of the deck. I sincerely missed doing lunar pulls for the first week or so of June, but I wanted to make sure to get Gemini new moon readings out for each sign. So that's what we have instead. And if you're still reeling from, wondering about, feeling very connected to that Gemini new moon energy, then you might want to check those out. They are, it's in two parts. I think Taurus and Aries are the only two on the second part, and they're all time-stamped, so there are new moon readings here for us. And we're jumping right into the middle of the moon being in Virgo now. Ace of Cups wanted to show. I'm just going to pull 3 cards. Normally I do a little bit longer of a lunar pull, but today, just for today, I'm just going to do a short 3-card spread to talk about the 10th and 11th. Might draw some clarifiers. And then early tomorrow morning, I believe, my time anyway, the moon changes sign again. So I'll be right back with another lunar pull. But of course, time being fluid, what I'm talking about as present energy may be in the recent past or near future for you, right? So roughly the time that the moon remains in Virgo. Ace of Cups, 3 of Wands. Now these are facing me still, and here in just a couple of minutes I will flip them around to face you all, so you can really delve into the images with me if you like. So I see a feminine energy, very invested in something that she loves. There are multiple facets, multiple aspects to this which she loves and is invested in. I also think that this reading is talking about us having an opportunity to openly share and communicate with others. When I see the Ace of Cups here, Ace of Water, Ace of Chalices, and I think we're wanting to move forward in that confidently, right? Needing to move forward in that open sharing confidently. And we are, as I said here, very invested in this that we love. But we are also, as you can see on this worried character's expression, a little anxious. Some of us a little anxious. Yeah, a little anxious, a little worried about the investment, about the outcome. Maybe about this open sharing that needs to happen. For some of us with the Ace of Cups, we are very much in the throes of a new or renewed love. But basically just needing to move into a space of meditation instead of this space of anxiety and worry, which the 3 of Fire doesn't always bring forward to me. But in the Deviant Moon Tarot, the tarot deck we're using today, I do see this anxious expression, like a mother waiting to hear the news that her child is fully healthy, right? That's the way that she seems to be invested in these plants here, like a mother invests in a child. She's literally connected to it. It's literally part of her, springing forth from her, right? So this actually, it definitely is a message for someone actually anticipating a birth, in fact. And it's talking about the fact that worry that you place on the birth itself, like I said, on like just how a new mother might worry and be anxiety ridden about, is my child healthy, etc. That worry is what needs to be released, and like I said, replaced with a state of meditation, because it's like the worry is the problem. It's like the worry is the only thing that could actually bring about the result that we're worried about. Some are experiencing a brand new love or a renewed love with someone from their past, but it's creating a three-party situation. So you're either, worried that the other person that you're involved with is in a three-party situation, or that you're the person creating a three-party situation somehow, because again of this new and or renewed love that you're spending time on, focusing on, allowing to come into or back into your life. But we need to release the fear and the worry and the victim mentality that comes along with it. If we're worried and fearful, then we are essentially communicating outwardly, or communicating even just to ourselves, that we are a victim of outside circumstances, external circumstances. Why would we be worried? Why would we have fear? Unless it was because we were afraid that something from the outside in, something external to us, was going to be controlling, negatively affecting our world in some way. So immediately the worry and the fear also brings with it this victim mentality. We're immediately saying we don't have control. There's reason to be scared. There's reason to be worried because we're not in control. Now that is a victim mentality, when we know that we certainly are. I'm not saying that there aren't some external forces outside of your control, that there aren't other people's free wills, but in creating our own reality, certainly in choosing our own attitude as far as how we respond to those events, those happenings around us, those energies around us, that's all our own creation. That is all within our control. So we're pretending like we don't have as much control as we do, or we're pretending like we don't have as much influence on our own mental state and reality by stepping into that idea of worry and fear, stepping into that space of worry and fear. I feel like this is reminding us that we already know who we are. So as we're worried about a passion project, a new love, a renewed love, something that we are very passionate about and so invested in that it literally feels like a part of us, or maybe literally is, for like the expecting mothers that I talked about, or expecting parents in general. In terms of that project, in terms of that love, that relationship, in terms of this investment, it's important here, and I can't really say why for each of us. It's going to be different for each individual, but it's important that we remember that you already know who you are. We already know who we are. We already know. And for some of us, that may be as simple as we already know we are a co-creator, we are a manifester, we are magic, we create our own reality, we have some power that we're not exerting. I'm not going to say we have all of the power. Like I said, there are external forces outside of our control, yes, but even our own attitude, again, about in terms of how we respond to those forces, that choice is ours though. So we do have a lot more power. We need to remember that we have a lot more power than we may act like when we worry and we get anxious about something we've invested in. It's almost like what's coming through that I have to share is, it's almost like and people do this a lot, it's almost like we're creating that energy, that anxiety, that worry, that fear, just to have something to do. It's difficult when there's nothing left to do but wait. So again, this is a passion project for some people. It's a child for others. It's a new or renewed love for others. It's definitely a quote-unquote passion project of some sorts. But we're waiting for someone to help us with the next step. We're waiting for ships to come in. We're waiting for results to be seen. We're waiting for to see if the energy we've invested was worthwhile. If things turn out as healthy as we've been hoping for. And it's almost like we, in that space when we're waiting, we have trouble just accepting that this is an incubation period. So we feel we need to busy ourselves. I'm going to liken it to the analogy of a mother expecting a child again, or a parent expecting a child. One feels in that space that they cannot simply twiddle their thumbs, right? They have to get their room ready. They have to read up on baby books, facts that they don't know about. They have to get all the supplies ready, etc., etc. Things I can't personally even list for you, right? But there's a list. And I'm not saying that all of that is unproductive. Obviously not. We're not saying that. There is a productive way to use that energy. But that is the question that this is telling us to ask. Whatever passion project is in our life, we love it, okay? What we're talking about is something that you love. Someone, again, a new child or something, but it is a new or renewed love of some type. It is a passion project of some type. It's going to just fall out specifically different. And the worry is the only problem. And that, like I said, what I'm trying to get out is that that's just what we do with that space, with that energy. Instead of just accepting that it's just an incubation period and really leaning into and sinking into that and just going into deep, long, lengthy meditation all on our own and solemn contemplation and solitude, total silence and stillness and solitude, aloneness, right? Instead of that, we busy ourselves. What can I do in the meantime? What can I do in the meantime? But that's what I was leading up to. That is the question. How can you be productive with that energy in the meantime? If there is, for a lot of us, the answer to that question is there is nothing I can do. Like, waiting is the thing to do right now. That's what this reading is about. That's what it's telling you to do. And it may not be the obvious answer because there may be a lot of other tempting paths, choices, to the point of it's confusing. What am I supposed to be doing with my time? What else can I do to help this passion project along, to help this baby be healthy, to help this relationship thrive, or to get us out of this three-party situation? It's really just time to wait and see how things shake out. And we can create more problems for ourselves. We can create problems that don't exist for us at all right now. Just because we're looking for something to do with our anxious, worried energy in the meantime, while we wait to see how this investment shakes out, how this relationship turns out, how this person turns out, how this project turns out. While we wait, we might create problems that just aren't there, don't want to be there, don't need to be there, just because we're looking for somewhere to put that energy. And the reading, what it's saying is that it's understandable that it's confusing because there's lots of options about where to put our energy, but this reading is about leaning into that incubation period, leaning into that solemn contemplation, that time of solitude, and meditating. Meditate. I heard a J. Cole song yesterday for the first time that was all about meditation. And maybe some of you can connect with that. So maybe some of you can't, but I heard it and I thought, wow, how have I never heard this before? I'm constantly pumping that message out onto YouTube and into the multiverse that I know how monotonous it is to hear. And I know how most people who don't do it just don't do it. It's not going to matter if they hear the message or not, right? But it's life-changing. It's everything. And so I have to keep delivering it, especially when it shows up on the table. And when I heard that song, I just thought, what another great mode of connecting about this thing that is so universal and so important and can change everything. It can change the world. It can change the species, because it can change each individual. It can evolve us all, and so it can change everything. So yeah, maybe some of you connect to that. Maybe if not, if you feel inspired to, or if you just remembered that song existed and you love it or whatever, check it out. J. Cole, something, I don't even know the title, but it's all about meditation. There's a huge, I'm sure you could just Google or YouTube, search J. Cole and meditation. So yeah, I'm just not surprised at all that that's the message that comes through for the collective today, after I just had that moment with that song yesterday. But there's, as we dig down deeper into the deck, there's also this message here of everything relying on divine timing. So those of you who are in a three-party situation, whether it's yours or the other person's or what have you, and that's just specific for a certain particular group here, you see the heartbreak at the top of the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune is good fortune, good luck, very fortunate opportunities, at least, to take advantage of, right? But we do, in this particular deck, the Deviant Moon Tarot, have the broken heart at the top of the wheel. So it can be saying, there has to be misfortune on the way to your good fortune. And for those who aren't dealing with a romantic situation, or even, not a three-party one, or maybe not dealing with one at all, it can be saying there's heartbreak on the way to our good fortune, because it's taking longer than we think it should. It's taking longer than makes sense. It's taking longer than we want it to. Maybe for some, it's heartbreaking because it's taking so long that it's making you want to just kind of give up. But divine timing is always at play. It just is. It's not something that I'm always happy about either. It's just a truth to be shared, to talk about, because it's always there. So, maybe confusing because it's taking too long and you have a lot of other options of what you should do with your time. But the reason that there's some part of you, your intuition, your guides, the signs, the reason that there's, some part within and or without that is communicating to just do nothing, is because that's what this reading is about. That's what we're supposed to do right now. Wait for this to develop. Wait for the ships to come in. Wait to find out about this person, this health, this project, this investment of energy. Just wait. Make sure that as you wait, you don't feel like a victim, that you don't allow worry and fear to attract the worst to you. And accept that this is an incubation period. I mean, the thing is, that's part of life. There are going to be times when you're in your cocoon. There are going to be times when, just like there's a time, and for most people, and every 24 or 48 hours, there's a time when you're asleep, right? That's going to be part of your life. There are going to be times when you are energetically asleep, even if you're conscious and awake, and you need to just sit down and read your favorite book, watch your favorite show, commune with your favorite people, color a picture, light a candle, say a prayer, listen to your favorite song, check out the J. Cole meditation song I just recommended. You know what I mean? Like, there are gonna be times when you're supposed to be still. And that's the thing about meditating on a regular basis. That box has been checked. You see those benefits immediately. It's apparent. It's obvious. And even if you just do it a little bit, like just start a little bit, just do it for a certain amount of hours a week if you can't do it a certain amount of hours a day, right? But that's basically what this is saying. There are going to be times when divine timing is taking too long, and this is one of those times for us. There are going to be times when, though it's frustrating, there is nothing to do but wait and try to be still while we wait, instead of waiting with anxiety, waiting with worry, waiting with what can I do, what can I do, what can I do? If we have to ask the question, what can I do to be productive here? What can I do at this time? Then let us be in still, solemn solitude and contemplation. Solemn solitude, right? When we ask that question and sincerely ask it to just ourselves and allow just ourselves to sincerely answer. Is there a way I can be productive in this space while waiting? Some of you, maybe there will be an answer, and then you will calmly go about whatever activity could maybe be productive in the situation. But for some of us, for a lot of us today, and maybe tomorrow, like I said, time being fluid, it might fluctuate a little, but for a lot of us at this point in time, the answer is no, there isn't anything you can do except meditate and wait. And maybe the answer is there's nothing we can do besides meditate, because the answer of how we can be productive won't come to us until we're in that still, meditative, zen, taking deep breaths place of trying to just find a blank space in our minds, in our life, right? But for others, it will just be, you're just supposed to conserve your energy. You're just supposed to be in an incubation period, in a cocoon, much like a mother expecting. She's just supposed to take care of herself. And there are plenty of other analogies. There's nothing like being a mom and giving life, no, but there are passion projects and relationships that we manage to birth into this world that can feel energetically the same way. I invested all of my heart and my time and my energy here, and I see this beautiful thing be born and blossom because of it, right? And so sometimes that's it. You just are supposed to sit and take care of yourself. But in any case, we're supposed to enter this meditative state, even if there's going to be an answer for you there about how to be productive. I think for most of us, it's just take care. It's just take care. And it's going to be a longer time period for some. For others, it'll just be this couple of days. So that is the message coming through on Lunartics Tarot's table today. I hope that the insight here was able to reach you all. And I hope that if you feel you need a private reading, you will take the time to scroll down to the description box below. There's information there about all the different links of readings I do, types of readings I do. And you can also just email me, though, at lunarticstarot@gmail.com if you'd rather talk directly to me about it before ordering, or even as you order, after you order. Everyone does it differently. But thank you all, whether you order or not. Thank you all for all of your support to Lunartics Tarot, for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, your messages, your emails, your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, for orders, and especially for those of you who have been donating. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you all make wise choices for yourselves moving forward. I love you, and I will post another lunar pool for us very soon.